So James needs to take Void here because his Alton Sarnai is so vulnerable to it.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
we're
that's
seeing.
true. So it's a defensive
is that an
claim.
entrenched position, or it's an ancestral lands maybe? I didn't see, and there's a big Void token on it now.
I think it is
and
ancestral
he's
lands.
assassinating the Atomo Courtier. So right away, hey, did they do their honor dials?
No, I didn't see them draw cards.
I didn't see them do their honor dials. How many cards do they have in hand?
I have no idea. 1, 2, 3,
4, but he hasn't played any. Yeah, they forgot their. Did they? No.
What the?
Robert has a huge handful of cards.
Were we sleeping?
Sleep at the wheel? Maybe we were. Our producer has gone off to find out, thankfully, like the hero that he is.
Or he's just like run off in terror.
Oh my God, who are these amateurs?
How unprofessional these two commentators are.
So I really like that assassinate play from Robert, waiting till.
Oh, the return assassinate.
Assassinating the.
Good Lord.
But yeah, I love seeing that assassinate play during the conflict after he'd committed his attacker, taking out his defender. Really nice.
I didn't even see them draw cards.
Me neither.
Their decks are off screen. This is not okay, people.
There's the way. Oh, the way of the crab.
James is on 8. Robert's on 6.
Okay.
So we got our updated numbers. Looks like Robert went for a big draw.
Yeah.
Way of the crab, devastatingly powerful there.
Whoa,
assassinate way of the crab. Oh, he's reading it.
Yeah.
Never what you want to see. But the assassinate way of the crab combo in the early turns is exactly why you can't do what James did.
But I guess that's why he only put one
that
fate.
puts Robert in a dominant position now.
Yeah,
look, he's going to go across the table. He's going to break a province.
He's going to beat face. He's going to claim whatever ring he wants to claim. Yeah. That's not. Oh no, there's.
So he's going to claim whatever ring he wants. He's going to take the favor.
It's going to be Earth. Yeah, he's going to go for hand control straight away, which is exactly what I would do.
It's a shameful display, which is a low strength province. It does nothing.
Lots
of
cards in hand. It's not the worst thing in the world for.
Robert's keeping the Ronin around as well.
Yeah, no, that thing's going to stick around.
No, that's a devastating. That's a devastating opening to the game.
Yeah.
You wanted Unicorn on stream, folks. Well, you got it.
Yeah.
And there's Ancestral Die Show, so he doesn't even need to spend the fate. And there's nothing to be done.
No, there's no response here.
Province breaks, the ring is claimed, cards discarded from hand.
Crippling.
Absolutely. He's charging
charging
the Shinjo in, or the Otaku infantry, who is +1/+1 for every unicorn in his army, including himself. So right now he's a mighty 1/1, which is not enough to save the province. But once the shameful display is resolved, honoring and dishonoring, the Otaku infantry will go to 2/2.
A massive 2/2.
But that'll be enough right now to block the province.
Like this mammoth card. That's a lot of cards committed to maybe not get a province broken. Actually, almost certainly still.
So Robert's spending a fate to give his Ronin +2/+2, putting him up to 6/6. Ronin's 0 glory, isn't he?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes, as is right and proper. Dirty Ronin's coming.
Yeah, how could a Ronin have any glory?
Well, there was this one Ronin I heard of. So there's the Bonsai. Tuturi the Black, he was called.
Oh my God.
Who did he ever beat?
There's
the counter Bonsai, so that's presumably going to be a point of honor loss on both sides.
Both sides, yeah.
Robert's on 5 already. Good God.
I don't think it's going to matter. I don't think there's going to be. I mean, he could even claim air this turn.
Favorable ground to move the. Oh, he's going to move him home. So he
but
can
he's going to die.
He's going to counterattack.
Sure, he's going to die at the end of this turn anyway because of the charge.
Yes, but he can attack with him first.
Okay.
Robert has no defenders left, so he gets a card from his hand.
Is charge the end of the
let
conflict?
Go. Is that a let go? Charge is end of turn. He only goes away because he has no fate on him. You can keep him in play with a good omen or a reprieve.
Okay.
And so we're going to see maybe a counter swing. Robert claims the Ring of Earth. Now, there's nothing on the text of charge that makes you leave play.
Oh, okay. That's my lack of knowledge of the card base, folks.
Don't worry, though.
Thank you,
You're
Jack.
very handsome, so you pull it off.
I know. We covered this ground already, Jack. Come on, keep up.
Oh, no. I agreed. There was only one handsome one. I've walked into your trap.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess it's important at this point to reiterate that this is a single core. So there are certain cards that you will not have many copies of in your deck.
And certain cards that you are forced to play
Yeah.
by merit of the fact that you don't have access to all of your
Yeah.
in-clan cards and the multiples you want to see.
So that's why we're seeing a lot of Wandering Ronins. That's
A
why
lot
we're
of
seeing
Tomo
a lot
Courtiers
of
and
Tomo
Seppuku
Courtiers
Guardsmen,
yeah,
Assassinates in every deck, Bonsais in every... Well, Bonsai goes in every deck anyway, let's be honest. But
almost every deck.
yeah, well, this is according to the 30-30 single core deck construction rules, which is a little bit different to the... Oh, there's the Spies of Court.
Oh.
So the province is broken.
So many cards being committed to this this
And he
fight.
gets a route and a
Ooh,
bonsai.
route and a bonsai.
That's two
That's
good hits.
heavy. Really heavy. Ouch. That's gonna
That was really
hurt
nicely played
Robert.
by him, using the charge for the counterattack play like that.
I gotta say though, that's like he got a little bit. Okay, maybe I was gonna say he got a little bit lucky there, because maybe let's see, he got two cards. He got two really high value cards out of Robert's hand there, and there were more cards played in the course of that fight. So he turned actually Robert's advantage. He really, really turned Robert's advantage against him there.
Yeah, that turn sort of came to...
It came to naught,
neutral.
really.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they both lost the province. They both played a bunch of cards. They're
After
both pretty low on honor. Now, so I've been told by some of James's previous opponents that he's won by dishonoring them.
really.
Yeah. So that's something Robert will need to keep in mind. So Robert sees a flip of guys, and he is working with just his bare 7 fate by the looks of things.
Yeah.
The Haruma Yojimbo is useless to him this turn. She can't attack. 2 Imperial Store. Oh, that's a
Oh,
good flip.
wow.
Oh, it's a bad flip.
It's a mediocre
It's a
flip.
bad flip overall.
I don't know. I don't think he's going to be under too much pressure this turn.
Um,
And the storehouses are going to be all right.
storehouses are always great for sure. Let's see. Robert has no holdings to empower his Yuzuki. He has no big threats really sitting in his provinces. He's buying the Vanguard Warrior, who would let him put Fate. So he probably wants to overspend on him here because his ability to put Fate, he's not doing it though. So, but the Vanguard Warrior's ability to add Fate to characters in play is obviously only useful if you've got a high value character you want to keep in play.
Exactly.
Shrewd Yuzuki, does he do anything if you don't have a holding, or does he just do this? Like, is he just worse if you don't have a holding? No, if there's a hold, he does nothing without a holding. So it's poor flips on both sides, really. But the 2 storehouses, and so we can see the dials, 1 for both players. Now they figure they've got it.
Oh yes, now we're seeing 2 veteran players of the LCG. Okay, so Robert's got initiative this turn. He's trying to figure out where he's going to go. So he's looking at one of the provinces that doesn't have the storehouse, and he's going to be assigning his Vanguard Warrior in there. He's going military conflict on, that looks like water. So
And water it is, and he's flipping into... It looked like maybe Meditations on the Tau, which is a province that will have absolutely no effect in this scenario.
Yeah.
So we're seeing the Keeper Initiate defend. So right now it's a loss for James. Got a bonsai in hand though.
Is that Meditations on the Tau?
I think so. And he's routing the defender. Oh, I'm not sure why he's doing that. There was no need. Oh, I guess and he's charging. Aha, so this is one of the little funny interactions. The Hirumo Yojimbo cannot be assigned to attack
Oh, but it can be brought
But
into
she
the
can
fight?
turn up. She can't be declared as an attacker. She can't be the one to
I
go,
see, I
we're
see.
going over there and breaking your stuff.
Yeah.
She can be moved in. She can be charged in.
Yeah. Yeah.
So she's turned up, and now she is, well, the fact that she's cheap doesn't matter. The fact that she's huge does. She's 4/3 character.
Yeah. That's
coming
a
into
lot
play,
of stats.
Coming
That's
into
a lot
play
of
for one
stats.
fate. And that's a broken province.
Yeah, that is a broken.
That's
province
two
for
broken
sure.
provinces for Robert.
A pretty strong start from Robert, even though he's spent a lot in terms of his
good.
conflict deck.
He's doing a great job with what he's got, for sure.
He has drawn a huge amount of, like, having a charge and having 2 bonsais.
That's true. Like the thing that actually saved his life in this game was the way of the crab.
Absolutely.
You know, when
Yeah,
your opponent flips their
Altan
champ,
Sarna,
you
yeah,
need the way of
yeah,
the champ. You need
yeah.
the way of the crab to answer that. And if you don't, even Altan Sarna is probably the weakest of the clan champions.
But he had the assassinate and the Altan Sarna.
Yeah.
And
The way of the crab.
And
He
the way of
had
the
the
crab.
full answer. So we're seeing a political air conflict. So he's going for. See, this is him.
Oh
going
yeah, he's
for
going
dishonor.
for the dishonor victory. I guess this is a really good strategy, because if you're, like, we've seen it so often today that people bring themselves voluntarily so low on honor that if you're going to chip away at them on air, you're going to be in a really good spot.
I didn't see the province there. It's 4 strength.
I gotta tell you, Jack, your eyes are you've got some.
Can you see the province?
I can't see the province. I can't see the 4 either.
Well, there you go then.
No, but I mean, your eyes are incredible, is what I was going to say, because I couldn't. You must have some, like, auto filtering.
Zoom and
mechanism.
enhance.
Zoom and enhance. Yeah. I don't think I could see that. Okay, so we got 3 cards in hand versus 3 cards in hand. Very, very
And
close.
the
Okay,
Haruma Ambusher comes down for the defense.
that's. I think that's a nice play. I mean, it means that he does have a presence on defense.
Yeah, so we're seeing the holding gets blown up, looking for an answer. He draws a courteous fan, which is no good, or an ornate fan, which is no good in this military conflict. So it looks like we're seeing, well, we'll almost certainly see a successful defense from Robert here, claiming the Ring of
and a claim
Air.
of air, which is going to be really important, because if Robert claims air here, that means
Oh, that's Robert's meditations on the Tau.
which also will have no impact
That will do
whatsoever.
absolutely nothing. It'll have 4 province strength.
Solid. Was that another? Okay.
So he's spending 2 fate and dropping
Oh.
Stoic Gunso, who, as I recall, is really good. Stoic Gunso is a 2-cost conflict character, 2/1, and you can sacrifice a friendly character to give him +3 military to the end of the conflict.
Wow.
So there is no chance now of this
Yeah,
province
there's
getting
no
broken.
way. There's no way. So that's going to be air claimed by Robert. Good defense there. Really solid defense.
Yeah, we're going to see
he's
him,
burned
and he's got his Yuzuki left to take another ring, probably Earth,
I would imagine
or
Earth
maybe
is the take here.
is that Fire to claim.
Fire would be the
claim
one
the
to
fate.
claim the fate. Yeah.
I'd go Earth, I feel. Oh, he wants the fate, though. No, he's taking Earth.
No, he's taking it. I think Earth is the right choice, because he
put the
puts.
foot, his hands low. Yeah, put the foot in the throat. Get in there. And he's going to take a point of honor off James as well. That's the Endless Plains. So he can break that to make Robert kill his guy, and he's doing it.
Wow. I'm not sure I would have
So-
done that.
But hang on, I need to check the timing on that. After an attack is declared, so that means that he's not going to lose any honor either.
But that means he's got 3 broken provinces.
He did so the province was breaking anyway, because it's only 2 strength.
Oh, it's only 2 strength. Okay.
And that Yuzuki was going, so that's not what you want to hit with your Endless Plains.
Yeah,
But
well, it's not ideal.
It stops Robert getting the ring.
But it's dire straits for James here.
James, by the way, is on 3-0
Yeah.
with 13 points. So
And
he's
Robert-
still in contention for Hatamoto status.
He is.
Robert here is playing the role of the Dream Crusher, being only on 2 and 1, 10 points.
Ooh.
Robert's here to make nerds cry.
He is.
So James is playing with an infinite amount of fate this turn. But he
Yeah,
has, but he has no provinces.
Yeah, his stronghold is wide
so
open
Otaku
here.
Yumino, the real unicorn champ, is here. Couple of Mia Mystics.
Oof. This is looking grim, actually, for James.
And I think that's a Moto Youth.
Is that a Moto Youth?
Oh, maybe it isn't.
No, I don't think it is. I think it's.
It's the Giver of Gifts. It is the Giver of Gifts, who is a ridiculously overstated courtier. But yeah, Yutaka Yumino, the character he just brought into play there, is the biggest threat in the Unicorn deck. She's nuts. And we're seeing a Wandering Ronin from Robert.
yeah.
And he's got an Imperial Storehouse this turn, and then a Keeper Initiate and a Tomo Courtier.
The thing is with the claiming, with an early claiming of Earth, that puts James in a really difficult position in terms of using Mino. Or in terms of using,
Yumino.
sorry, yeah, Yumino.
That's true. Yeah. Cards are the premium right now.
And I think Robert is in a position of he does have initiative this turn. Am I right in saying that?
Well, James currently holding the token.
Oh, sorry,
I think
James
has the token.
James has initiative. Okay. And was the Imperial Favor was claimed last turn or not?
Robert took it. yeah.
Robert took it.
So James, because he has so much fate to play with this turn, it's very unlikely he was going for that early pass. There's Robert passing and claiming the fate. So here come the honor dials.
Here come the dials. This is going to be reasonably. I'd say ones all round.
I'm assuming so.
Let's see how many cards they draw.
So one card for Robert, one
card
card for James.
yeah, one
one's
card all around.
No surprises
Yeah,
there.
so
Being on 7 and 5, they really have no choice.
Yeah. I mean, they're at a point where every claiming of air or every point lost from a non-contested actually does make a difference.
Yeah, the Twitch chat is raising correctly the fact that they resolved the Ring of Earth after the Endless Plains resolved.
Oh.
Which they shouldn't have. Because even if Robert had the favor, you only get the favor bonus if you have someone there.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we are merely observers. We're like that guy from the Marvel Universe with the floating chair. we can take no part.
Anything.
We can't intervene.
Yeah.
It's up to the players to spot these things.
We are powerless. We are just viewers, like yourselves, except we get to say stuff and people get to listen.
I don't know about that second part.
Well, yeah, we do get to say stuff though, which is quite the privilege, quite the honor.
He's going for fire, which makes sense because Utaka Yumino has 3 glory. And honoring her quickly.
Well, I mean, you essentially get to turn her into a 7/7 if you.
Yeah. Honestly, I feel like he should have spent more fate on her.
I mean, he spent one.
Especially with there being fate on the Ring of Void this turn.
It really depends on what he has in hand. I mean, it depends on what he wants to do and what he wants to.
That's true.
But yeah. He's giving away the game.
But I'd rather buy the Giver of Gifts with no extra fate and put an extra fate because Yumino is such a huge threat.
But and that's the thing, she needs to stay around as well because he needs her on defense. He needs her to be the one blocking when the attack comes on his stronghold because it's coming.
That's true, and the Unicorn stronghold is weak in terms of its province strength.
Yeah.
Compared to others, especially compared to Crab.
It's +2, is it?
It's not. It's +0.
+0
gives nothing. It's, they're all about early aggression, the Unicorn, and if they don't get it done quickly, they gas themselves quite badly in their stronghold.
It's looking seriously grim here for for James.
Big style. Unless he can sneak a dishonor win.
And at 5 points, I don't
see it happening. And with all his stronghold exposed,
and with claiming
so
void
Robert is doing. See, this is the mistake Alex made earlier when he ran his whole army into the stronghold and hit that rally to the cause.
What do you want to
send? You want to send someone inconsequential to pop whatever's under the stronghold and make sure it's nothing too frightening. So he's defending with the Atomo Courtier against that void challenge.
And I guess this is another one of the basic mistakes that an old L5R player would make. It's like you want to end the game immediately, therefore you send the entire army in, and you make your opponent play everything they've got. Whereas maybe that's not even necessary. Yeah. Maybe that's the wrong play.
So we're seeing a defense. Honestly, no, I guess he's got some stuff that he wants to keep out. That's Tomonatsu, right?
Yeah.
This one here.
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Useless Tomonatsu. She does nothing. She looks like she has a really powerful ability. In fact, she does nothing. Actually, it's not. No, that's a
No,
stronghold.
it's not.
That's a stronghold.
That's a stronghold.
You know, big building, lady with a hammer. Easy to make that mistake. They look very alike. um,
What was I saying about your eyesight earlier?
that it was great. So,
Is that a province broken?
no,
No.
no.
For some reason, he's just like looking at the card underneath, though. Or not, maybe. I don't know. I'll be honest, Jack. I've lost a little bit of track what exactly is
Don't worry,
going on.
don't
in
worry.
this.
We'll catch up with it. So, it looks like the claim of the Void Ring was successful,
Yeah, so he's removed the fate token from.
but the province is unbroken. There's 2 fate on the Ring of
That looks like.
Fire.
Yeah, it's fire. Yeah, they have no one has cared about fire in this game. It's all
Yeah.
been about earth and about
And
void, I think.
His whole board is straight and ready to go.
This is all of a sudden it looks a lot different. Actually, it looks like a lot different scenario for James.
The game ebbs and flows a lot like this, where you can feel so far behind 1 minute, and so there's a tattooed
honestly,
wanderer coming down.
I feel like there's something crucial that we've missed here because all of a sudden James has a substantial board presence that's going to stick around. as well.
It's because he won the ring, and he got his 2 keeper initiates out of the bin, put them into play with 1 fate.
I see.
We got
okay.
there. We got there.
We got
We
there.
didn't know his
Nice,
role,
nice,
which is why
nice.
with
Yeah.
a
We
little
can't
confusing.
see everything here, stream. We can't see everything. I'm really sorry, but I wish we were omniscient or omnipotent like that. But we're mere mortals, me and Jack.
Well, Andy's a mere mortal anyway.
Well, I'm sort of like a demigod.
So, like that, it looks like a big board presence, and to an extent it is. But remember, those keeper initiates, unless they get honored, they're tiny. They're little midgets.
But it's presence.
It is. It's
important.
super valuable, and
And it means he can pressure rings that all of a sudden he couldn't pressure.
yeah. So he's looking at air.
Oh, look at
He's
him.
doing
Oh, look at
some
him. Oh, look
ledger
at.
domain.
I mean, does that give away any of his mental state? The fact that he's like fidgeting and twirling.
And it's military air on a as yet unrevealed province.
Military air with only 1 assignee. So,
But it's unicorn, so
but it's exactly.
Yumino can turn up at any time.
It's unicorn, so he could all of a sudden have a massive cavalry unit there.
The Ronin is well. The Ronin has made his decision to defend before he flips.
And that's
Flip was.
is that the fields?
Was it Fertile Fields?
Yeah, it's
no,
Fer-
it was
oh, no.
Manicured Garden.
Manicure garden. Okay.
It's like Fertile Fields, but better. So Robert is winning right now on the defense.
So what do you? Let's take a step back a minute and look at the game state right now. You've got 3 provinces broken for James's side. Robert is sitting fairly confidently with 1 broken province and small-ish board now compared to what James has. How do you see this game playing out from this point, Jack?
Yumino's hopping in. It really depends. Like it's not ending this turn. But remember, the Hirumi Yojimbo can't attack.
Yeah.
So while Robert has a big body on the table, she's only useful for defending.
So that was oh, he's discarding his card to get plus.
There's a funny I feel like if I'm Robert now, I would rather the initiative was not coming my way. So that's a fine katana for the Ronin. Because what I'd really want to be doing would be seeing James make his first attack.
Yeah.
Because his attacks are going to be so much harder by merit of the fact that
Yeah.
his stronghold is open.
Yeah.
Also, if I'm Robert, I'm ditching that monk from my province and digging for Casada.
Just to try and end this game as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
Because you want to put this one away. Like, you have all the tempo here. You've got all the advantage.
There's the challenge going under the stronghold for the ring.
So we're going to see. Are we going to see the chump? The chump attack here.
We're going to see. Yeah, exactly. So he's
Yeah,
going to flip the
yeah,
province, see what it is.
You see, this is an experience play. This is what I would consider an experience play, like we were just discussing. Sending that chump in on.
And what are we going to see? We're going to see Yeah, that's is that Ancestral Lands by the looks of it? Yeah. So Ancestral Lands. Oh, no, it's not. Is it
don't
Rally
think
to the
so.
Cause? Yeah, it's entrenched
It's
position.
entrenched. It's entrenched. So it's +5 for military.
+5 versus military.
Yeah.
So if Robert has like a courteous fan and one other force pump in hand, he can win the game now.
Yeah. And that is a court game. Did he just show that, or did he play that?
It's not on the table. This is where it sucks to be a Unicorn Clan.
That looked like
It was a court
games.
games, definitely. The question is whether he played it.
He put it back in his hand
okay, so
very quickly, so he's going to play it. So the court games comes down. He's got an extra 2 political. No, he's playing it to
dishonoring the
dishonor.
defender.
Okay, so that removes his contribution, basically.
Yep. And now he's
And now
attaching
the
the
ornate
fan.
fan.
This is where that +2 province strengthening stronghold really matters.
And that was another fan, is it? Oh,
That was another fan. Oh no, it's not. It's
it's a katana.
oh,
is
it's the Katsuki's method.
it? Katsuki's method. Okay.
It's the katana of politics.
Sword of politics. The sword is mightier than the sword.
And the initiate comes in. So that means he has won the battle. Probably not taking the province by the looks of
I
it.
can't.
With the giver of gifts defending.
No, I don't see him breaking it. At least I don't count
But
it
that
that way.
Atomo is hanging around. That enormous Atomo. six strength Atomo is hanging around for another turn. And now from Robert, I feel okay about the first player initiative coming to me.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
James's board is so big.
Yeah, because
hell of
Robert's
a
going to be
board.
losing. He's going to be losing 2 cards here, and
Well, the Haruma Yojimbo doesn't matter so much again because
No.
although actually this is a big deal. Robert has 3 fate in the bank, and James has nothing.
yeah. So if he does see Casada here, that's going to be huge. That's going to be absolutely massive, even if it is an entrenched position. It's still having Casada in there or being able to deny that first action or one action.
Yeah. In every conflict without
In
being present. So
every-
like James's attacks too.
Really crippling. Really, really crippling. Unless James figures out some way to counter it or to remove
he's going to
Casada.
have a substantial board.
It's true. It's
Um,
true. I mean, can he, with brute force alone, defend it? They're having a bit of a back and forth here.
They're chatting about something.
It seems like there is some sort of bone of contention here. I'm not exactly sure what it is. He's pointing towards his characters. There's one character in
Reading the
particular
card.
reading cards. Yeah, a bit of back and forth here. I guess it's
See, of course, this is the hunt for Haramoto.
It's
getting
very
the blood up.
important. Very important for James to win this match. He's got to keep the win streak going if he wants to keep the dream alive. So he's going to take any advantage he can possibly get. So at some point, like I've been in this position before, you sit back, you're under pressure, you're being attacked, you're being harried and whatever. You've got to take a moment, sit back and really read through everything and really assess the board position to see if there was an advantage or if there's a chink in the armor of your opponent, to see if there's anything that you missed on a first pass or a second pass of your opponent's cards. I don't really see anything right now that James can capitalize on, or that he can turn to his advantage, or that will ease the pressure that he's going to be feeling either this turn or next turn. But there's some conversation going on here. I'm not sure exactly what.
Hopefully, it's nothing too contentious.
He's totally not said that yet. So wait.
Well, we can just out the stream.
You can, but I'm
Oh, there's a judge involved. So it's a rules question. A judge has been summoned.
So it seems like it's a rules question.
The question is whether they can use the firing ability after winning the fire trial.
I assume it's to do with whether or not he can honor his Seeker Initiate,
Okay.
who has entered play after the Ring of Fire is
okay,
taken. Can he enter
okay.
play and go to 3/3
then-
right away?
And then proc the Ring of Fire on it straight away. I mean, that seems like an interaction that's probably not okay.
I feel like the answer is no.
I feel like the answer
And
is
it's not. Yeah,
it's a
we're seeing the
resounding
we're seeing
no.
the Dishonor
Yeah,
token go down
yeah,
on Yumino.
I mean, if Ring of Fire has to come into play first, Ring of Fire has to be claimed, and then procced, and then you
But
get
you know,
your...
we're all learning.
We are. It's a new game.
It's a new game. Timings are always one of the most difficult things to understand about any card game.
For sure. I mean, this is not... we were having this discussion yesterday, compared to a digital card game like Hearthstone, where there is a black box that figures out the timings of everything, and you're a silent
along for the
participant.
ride.
You're along for the ride. In a physical card game like an LCG or a CCG, you really need a good rules team to be here and to be on the ball and make these calls as to how the timings interactions work between the cards. So good ruling there. I think that one is pretty.
And we're proceeding now to the next turn.
And we're proceeding to the next turn. Okay.
Dishonoring Otaku Yumino.
Pretty.
Oh, it's not Yumino who's dishonored. It's the giver of gifts.
Oh, interesting. I mean, Yumino is his most potent weapon at the moment.
Well, once he'd invested in the giver of gifts, though, because the giver of gifts has what I assume must be a Katsuki's method.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's an ancestral daisho. The art. We would look at the art if we could find it.
Reading cards based on what their art looks like. No, I think it's a daisho.
It's a daisho.
Yeah.
So the giver of gifts is reasonably invested in as well. So let's see what we got here. A bunch of purple cards. That's always what you want to see in 30-30. Purple, the host. So there's a warrior poet.
So just
an outrider. On Robert's side, we've got Moritomo, more Sepun, the Borderlands defender, who is amazing, as previously discussed from the Max Ogden game, and the Caillou Envoy, who's a little fate bank. Very powerful little tiny guy.
So yeah, courtesy when he leaves play, gain 1 fate, and sincerity when he leaves play, draw a card. So I mean, you're not going to be investing too much in this guy to have him stick around. You kind of want him to leave as soon as possible. Machine. And he is, sacrificial. Sacrificial super lamb. He's
so remember,
lamb
Robert came into this turn with a fair amount of extra fate in the bank.
So just further on that rules clarification, there are a certain number of steps that you need to go through in the game to proceed through an entire turn. What was happening was the guys were having a bit of contention whether something that was technically happening in step 7 should happen in step 6. But no, step 6 comes first, then the resolution of the seeker coming into play is a step 7 resolution. So
what do you guys talk about on Imperial Advisor? This stuff, apparently.
Apparently it's broken down into steps. That's something I've learned only just recently from our production team.
So we're seeing Robert emptying his provinces.
That's one of the biggest boards we've seen all day.
It's huge.
That is that's an army.
On both sides.
That's a bomb of people. This is, okay, so this is something we haven't come across yet. So this is going to require a little bit of time and attention from us. So we've got full boards on either side. So this is going to lead to probably the most complicated turn that we've seen yet in terms of assignment, which we've already remarked as one of the hardest skills in the game.
Unless Robert just goes ham and charges everyone in to take the stronghold.
I mean, he does have initiative this round. He can just go for the end game straight away, go for the jugular straight away.
Because if James defends with everyone, then he's still entirely bowed out, and there'll be no counterattack risk. So even if it doesn't work,
very true.
And then James's huge board gets reset, Robert's going to keep a few guys in play.
For me, this is very reminiscent of old L5R. It's like game's on the line. I'm going to rush everybody in. You either defend with everyone and we'll let's duke it out. Let's see what happens. Or, you hang a couple of people back and you've got to play the numbers game in your head and, how much...
Should I attack with 17 guys and 7 into the other province? Or should I attack with all 24 into one province?
Ooh, that's a familiar sounding scenario, Jack. It's almost as if you remember the stories I told you yesterday about Euros 2011. We were talking about assignment being the difference between a good player and a great player.
I'm sorry, Andy. I'm sorry. So here come the dials. We're seeing a 1 from Robert. We're seeing an invisible number from James, but he's drawing no cards?
He has no cards in hand? Well, okay.
Okay,
he's drawing 1, 2.
Looks
like 2.
Okay, easy peasy.
I mean, honor becomes irrelevant at this point. Honor, honestly, I think James could probably have drawn. He could have drawn 3, 4 on that turn safely. He could have safely drawn 3, and maybe with a little bit of risk drawn 4.
Yeah, maybe.
And to give himself just a few more outs, because this is the end game. This is one
Yeah,
of the
for
times that
sure.
we very much like. This is a very much an end game scenario. So it's all or nothing. And actually, it's not even really all or nothing here.
Because if
There's
he
another
whiffs his
turn.
attack,
There's another turn.
if he whiffs his attack, unless he wins. If he wins now, there is not another turn, obviously.
Yeah.
But if he whiffs this attack, James still needs to take 3 provinces on the counterattack to win the game, which isn't happening.
And actually, he's going to lose. He's going to lose 2 at least at the end of this turn. So pushing himself down to 4 is putting himself in really risky territory.
So Robert's going after
Going
the
for
Earth
Earth.
Ring, taking the Fate.
Doesn't really.
The fate
The
could
fate.
matter.
The fate makes a difference. The fate makes a difference. Yeah.
So can we figure out what his strength is? He's doing political, so he's got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
I think
7,
the
8, 9, 10.
the official term is a bucket load.
10 is a lot. It's not the most.
10's good.
James is defending with the Warrior Poet, who's going to give everyone -1 political strength.
Ooh,
And the
harsh.
Giver of Gifts, who is dishonored and therefore has only 1 political strength. So that's a total of 3. 3 for James. So right now the province is breaking.
Is breaking. Yeah.
Well, oh no, because Yumino's defending as well. So that puts him up to 5.
Puts him up to 5. So there's still
So
5.
now the province is still breaking, but once he uses his Warrior Poet, that will no longer be the case.
Yeah. So does that mean he's unassigned one of the guys? Has he?
Looks like.
Yeah. They're just figuring out. I think they're probably
they're
like.
going through their assignment.
Yeah,
figuring it out,
they're going to be like, okay, if I did this, if you do that, then I have this. They're trying to just work out the numbers and make sure
he's
it's
moving
clear
his.
to
Is that the
everyone.
Meishodo wielder?
Ooh,
Yes, who's just a cheap guy.
just a cheap,
Just a cheap 2-2.
Yeah, cheap 2-2.
So now we've got 6, 7, 8 versus 3, 4, 8. So it's 8 versus 8. I will assume the Warrior Poet either has been used or will be used at some point, which will make it 8 versus 5.
Yeah. Pretty good defense so far. I think it's been. I mean, he's got to defend. He's essentially got to defend 2 attacks here. He's either got to defend 1 mega attack or 2 fairly brutal assaults.
The entrenched position defends against a military attack on its own.
Well, it does and it doesn't. If you have an overwhelming amount of military force,
He doesn't, though, because he
Yeah.
sent this
Yeah,
much.
yeah.
We know he doesn't because he sent this much stuff into his political attack.
then
Unless he has a bailout plan, but I don't believe there is one except for favorable ground, which
Yeah,
isn't
I
currently
don't-
in play.
Yeah.
So that's the Warrior Poet being activated.
and it's still 3 cards in hand for James.
And his counterattack potential is very low. Like
Yeah.
the
He's
2
he's
dishonored guys.
He's in a bad position right now. So what is it? Okay, let's say James survives this this attack. What's his plan for his counter move?
flip really good. Flip really
But
good stuff.
he's still got a full turn to play. So there is a 4th province that can be broken
for James.
for James.
James
if
hasn't
he
broken.
won.
James has only broken 1 province so far.
Oh, sorry, no, a fourth
Robert.
for Robert.
No,
if
he goes after the stronghold to claim another
to
ring.
claim another ring. Okay, fair enough.
Like James is keeping nothing up, so there's another Ornate Fan goes down, making him 4 plus
6,
3, 7
7
versus
7 versus 8.
yeah.
Yeah, quite cagey here. I mean, it's a good play by James to try and get Robert to play his hand out.
Yeah, but it's an Earth Ring conflict as well. So if Robert wins this, any trade of cards is going to wind up being in his favor. So, the Imperial Favor, of course, we're leaving out. So that
Oh,
means
so it's
it's
8
probably a
versus
tie.
8.
Yeah.
Ooh.
We can't quite see Robert's favorite token, but we will assume based
Good to
on the way
remember
they're
that one,
behaving
Jack.
that
Yeah,
it's 8 versus 8. There sure is a lot to remember in this game.
That's it. It's, I mean, even on a very straightforward attack, it's like, okay, I'm sending a bunch of stuff into one place. There are so many variables to keep in mind. Like, keep in mind your opponent's fate, your fate, their hand size, what they've played so far, their board state, I mean, their counterattacking potential. So much to keep in consideration. And then you've even got the smaller things of like how much have you bid this turn? How much have they bid? What's the honor situation? What do they have available to them? What do they have, what do they have in their deck at their disposal? So many different considerations here. I mean, and as you get higher up and higher up in the number of wins
So
in the
there, the
tournament,
battle is concluded.
and
Robert's going to claim the
Earth
ring.
is going to proc, so
Discarding that looked like a bonsai.
that did look like a bonsai. That would be the second bonsai. Yeah, so that means
I think Robert can count that as a successful attack.
very much so. He's going to draw a card himself here, so he's going to refresh his hand up to 3 or 2. Is it? Did he draw his card already? I didn't actually see. I think he's going back to 2 cards in hand.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, not quite sure what happened there with the
Just bowing her out. It's from the conflict.
Okay.
And again now, so Robert has actually held back a reasonable amount of defense.
He certainly has. That was. I mean, you could go ham, and you could just go berserk and fire everybody into the province. Probably what I would have
We
done.
saw what happened to Alex Jones earlier today when he tried that.
Yeah. And I mean, it's a very conservative move, but it's probably a wise choice actually to keep those 2 back.
It shows patience, I think, discipline.
Yeah, discipline. I think discipline is a really good way to put it, because you're now putting James in a position where he has to tax himself even more to figure out a way that he's going to do something here, whereas you're sitting in a position as
Of
Robert,
comfort.
total comfort.
So he's going for military fire, which Robert can choose to defend overwhelmingly if he feels like it, or can just let through.
Chump block it, or
Doesn't
let
even-
it
or
through.
just let it through.
Let it through. I mean,
He's
he
got
doesn't have to
options.
do anything. Fire is not going to be that influential here, unless James is going for some sort of an honor victory condition, which I don't see.
I don't see it at the moment
or
anyway.
dishonor victory condition.
So
Honestly, if I was James, I might have gone for void instead of fire.
yeah, try and get some board parity.
Yeah.
Especially with the attachment on that
Exactly,
border.
exactly. The ornate fan there, it's pressuring you in 2 ways.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
it's going to be, Robert's going to have enough military presence to be able to contest things militarily. If
Robert's
he really
going
wants
to draw another card from that Kaio Envoy as well, remember.
Oh,
and get the fate back. He's
And
going into
get the
next turn with
fate.
4 fate in the bank.
And his likelihood of seeing Casada is going to be very high, because he's dug through that deck.
Yeah.
He's dug through a lot of his Dynasty deck already. And I mean, for all that Casada is not going to be super influential in terms of his stats, his influence in terms of his denial and his
Especially
denial
when
of-
hands are so small already, when you don't have spare cards to bait out his ability.
No. Or actions. At this point, you just don't have the action power to...
So let's see, we're getting the Ronin is defending. So that's 4 military strength. Defending against, well, it can't be much. It's hard to tell with the dishonor tokens covering up the characters. And we're seeing, the mountain does not bow. Will keep that Ronin from bowing on defense. Mountain does not fall. Mountain does not move. Mountain does not fall.
Not fall, yeah.
So we're going to see a defense. Is he going to? Did he claim
Yikes.
fire as well? He did. And now he is doing.
He's going to do...
military
Water.
water just to take the fate. He's going to have so much fate.
I mean, this is just safety play from him, I guess. He knows that he needs another turn. He's just going to keep investing. He's getting so much fate out of all of the actions that he's doing.
And he's ahead on tiebreakers if
Yeah.
it comes to that.
Yeah, far.
So if
far
he
ahead.
can advance the game state, go to the next turn and try and win, then also comfortable knowing that if the game doesn't finish that turn, he's still ahead on tiebreakers.
And the counterattack potential still isn't there.
No, and it's going to get worse in a second.
It is going to get a lot worse. I mean, that board is going to dwindle very, very quickly.
It's not going to dwindle. It's going to disappear.
Yeah.
So he's going for... He might be taking Void just to protect his own guys. Because I don't see anyone on James's side who's got any extra fate.
No. And James still has a political conflict. he can
Yeah, so
resolve.
in that case, he's looking to protect his border
Yeah,
defender,
Yeah.
which makes sense. 'Cause
Ensure
she's a
presence,
big,
yeah.
hefty, especially if he wants
Yeah.
to go political. She's got 5 political skill.
Yeah. She's his breadwinner right now.
So there's a conversation of some kind happening here. Queries by James.
Should we like interpret what they're doing and have the conversation? You being Robert, me being James.
You cannot win. Please stop playing. You cannot win.
Well, I think you're a dick, Jack. And
I'm Robert, not Jack.
oh, sorry,
We're
sorry,
role-playing here,
sorry,
Andy.
sorry. Wrong roll.
So he's defending with his dishonored guy who has no strength, presumably just so he doesn't have to take the honor loss. Yeah, James claims void.
The honor loss seeming irrelevant at this point, anyway.
But you might as well, like, if like that guy is useless attacking as well, so you might as well do something with him.
It's very true. Very true. Well, unless you can re-honor him, which I guess is why he was trying to get fire. No, was fire attempted at some point this
Fire
turn?
was attempted.
Yeah.
Robert took it on defense. So that's
right,
the turn.
right. That's a lot of dead stuff. There's going to be 2 honor loss on James's side, and time has been called on the round.
Okay, so Robert's going to gain a point of fate.
He's going to gain a
card.
fate. He's going to draw a card. He's going to lose an honor, right? Isn't he? Or is he?
No, but James
James
is going to lose
2 for the 2 dishonored characters.
So this is if time's on the round, this is a done deal.
Well, I think they get to play their dynasty phase. I'm not sure. I keep saying this, but I'm not actually sure how the.
You have to went to all that
rules.
effort to explain it to you.
I know. Alex
You
did an
are
amazing job.
A disgrace.
He did a great job explaining it, and I nodded my head an awful lot as he was talking. I was like, "Oh yeah, that makes sense. Oh, that's good. That's good. Yeah. Oh, that sounds very L5R. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then I unfortunately could not relay all that information back to the stream. It was a bit too much for me.
So
I'm a
we're
simple man.
seeing a Vengeful Berserker, another Wandering Ronin, and 2 Sepun Guardsmen. It's not Casada. It's not Casada,
But it doesn't need to be.
It doesn't need, especially with time on the round.
Yeah.
He's ahead on honor. He's ahead on provinces. He has the favor. He has
Now,
all the tiebreakers.
Here is the real question. How does James deal in this situation? Does he give the hand? Does he pass the concession? Do they play it out for the unmodified win or the modified win?
So I think at this tournament, as there's no cut,
It doesn't make a
there
difference.
is no modified win.
Yeah,
There are
yeah.
only wins and losses.
Well, Hadamoto goes to. Does it go to top of clan?
Goes
here?
to no, just goes to the 4 people on 5-0 at the end.
4 on 5-0. Okay. Right. So I mean, he doesn't really care. He'll want to play this out then, to the bitter end, the very, very bitter end. I'll be bitter.
That's the border rider, right? The awesome unicorn card who straightens herself. Cheap and cheerful and amazing. No, it's not her. It's some other unicorn. It's the Shinjo Outrider
Shinjo Outrider.
who
It's a,
moves to the conflict. Far less impressive.
actually, I think.
Oh,
that's-
actually, he's got both of them. They're both there.
I think that Shinjo Outrider is a really good card at this point.
She's oversaturation. The Stronghold does it anyway.
But she gives an extra. She gives the extra ability to have presence.
But James, like, if this is all he's buying this turn,
Oh, well, that's oh god.
he needs to defend his Stronghold.
Twice.
He has 3 military strength on the table and 5 province strength.
Well, I mean the
6,
entrenched
4 with the Mia Mystic.
yeah.
But that's going to go into blowing up the fan.
yeah, more than likely.
So if he attacks, so he can attack here with his Outrider, who will straighten herself, because she'll be ready to defend again.
Yeah.
But that's it. That's all he can do. And Robert should just let it through. He should offer no. He shouldn't contest it in any way.
Well, there's one broken province for Robert.
Actually,
here.
okay. Well, with a Ring of Water, maybe he should contest it. So let's see what we're flipping. Or well, let's do our best to see what we're flipping. This game feels like it's stitched up to me.
Yeah.
There's some
We're
work
going-
left in it.
We're
but
going through the motions, I think. The guys, like, I think a player of James's quality is never going to just lay down and say
No, especially when his Hatamoto status is on the line
yeah,
still.
Yeah,
What do your
So
provinces do?
What do your provinces do? Yeah, classic question.
No, not yet, but someday it will be, I'm sure.
It's classic for me. I always ask. What does that card do? What does that card do?
Oh, what is that? Yeah, but like, what
does that card
what do
do?
your provinces do specifically is a relatively new question.
How many cards do you have in hand? How many
How many
cards do you
you have in
discard
hand? Yeah,
pile?
how many cards you have in hand, and then you ask the same question again a few seconds later.
Well, yeah, I mean,
when
you
nothing's
cycle,
changed.
you cycle through the list of questions and then you go through them again, just for certainty, you know. I mean, like I said, a player of James's quality, you don't want to miss any of the details.
So James is successfully claiming the ring of. Is he?
I've no
Oh
idea.
no, Robert defended with his Sepun and claimed the ring.
Yeah, this one feels pretty much a done deal.
So I see a rout in James's hand. So he's going in. It's
He's
a political
going for
conflict.
political fire. I mean, I think the ring is irrelevant at this point. He's committing his entire board to it.
And
so
he's got the Ronin can go up to being a 6/6.
yeah.
The Otomo is 2. The Border Defender, it will be 3 when the Mia Mystic has finished doing his job.
Yeah.
That's going to be more than enough.
Should be.
Barring some magic in hand that we can't see.
Well, we see a route in James's hand, so that's automatically presence removal.
But he needs greater military strength so he can send the Otomo home. And nobody. So that's a. Oh, so
That's
he's
a
going
die
for a
show.
big route. He's going to try and route the.
He's going to route the
the
wandering.
Border Defender.
Really? You
Or the
think so?
Ronin, maybe. Yeah, I guess
I
it'll be
think
the Ronin because the
he'll
Ronin's going to
probably-
6/6.
Yeah,
so
I was going to say he'll stall out until the Ronin goes to 6/6, and then he'll send the Ronin. That's
I
what
think
I
once
would
the
do.
Ronin goes to 6/6, you can't do it anymore. Robert's
Oh,
response now should be to pump the Ronin.
Yeah.
But if he
keep-
does
I
that,
keep
then his
forgetting.
Border Defender goes home.
Yeah.
Here comes the route. Send the Border Defender home. Off she goes.
And loses the attachment, surely. Oh, no.
No.
Oh no, that's the wrong route.
That's the old route.
That's the old route. Oh, I'm
Different
still,
game, Andy.
I'm in a game 5 years old at this point, at least. At least. Thinking back to Celestial Edition, L5R CCG.
So the Ronin has pumped himself once.
Pumping once, pumping twice.
And now Robert is explaining that the game is over.
Yeah, I think they both know at this
James is
point.
coming to terms with it.
James, slowly but surely accepting his fate, as all L5R players do in the end. The hands go on the table. They have an earnest conversation. Hands will be extended soon. I'm pretty certain that we're going to see it. They're talking out how this battle is going to run out. No one wants to show exactly what. There,
And there's the
there it is.
handshake.
There it is.
Robert wins a respectful bow to his opponent. And that's the fate of the Unicorn Clan, folks. That's how it works.
Honestly, that
Another
was,
dream crushed.
Yeah. That was the Unicorn sort of. I mean, James played. He played very. I think he played it as well as you possibly could have.
No, he didn't. He bought Alton Sarnai into Crab on turn 1.
But he bought out Alton Sarna. I think
He
okay.
made it. That's an unforgivable blunder.
But it's one of the cases if he's got it, he's got it. There's one way of the Crab in the deck, right? There's one card in a 30-30 deck, and he didn't even invest all of his faith in Alton Sarnai.
So this is a particular calculus that you might imagine I've gone over in my head a lot.
Yeah.
There's a play on turn 1 that will either win me the game
yeah,
or lose me the game.
I can
And
imagine.
it's based on the numbers, you can run the numbers and say, well, he only has 1 in the deck. He's seen potentially 8 cards.
Yeah.
That's a reasonably decent odds that he hasn't seen it. But if he has seen it,
I lose.
I lose.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
risk
yeah.
reward isn't there.
But Jack, we've both been in the situation, and we both know how it feels to be on the losing side of this situation. We've both made that choice and come out a cropper for it. But you also have to think, and I think about this so often, when you come to that situation, you have to decide as a player, do I play to win or do I play not to lose? And I think every time you have to play to win. I have played not to lose in the past and I've lost because of it. I think in that scenario you have to play to win. And I think that's exactly what James did. I think he played
that's
to
a
win
fair
there.
point. That's a fair point. I mean, not on stream yet.
Whoops.
This is very professionally run.
That was it's some yeah.
It's cough medicine.
It's medicinal. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean that's a fair point. You know, like he had like the reward was there. It's like, so this is my issue with that kind of play. The reward he gets from buying Alton Sarnai and the Sepoon at the start is not equivalent to the punishment he gets if it goes wrong.
So the proportion of risk reward wasn't there for you.
Yeah, exactly. And
But how
while
do
you're right, you got to play to win. I think that playing to win also means making the correct plays. You know, I mean, playing aggressively, pushing your victory condition forward, taking
many
the
times,
obvious
though?
powerful line. But
We very easily could have been talking about how James was how he masterfully played the Alton Sarnai play at the beginning of the game, and how
as if he had it, and
how
you got to admire
tragic-
his balls.
how tragic it was that, you know, if only Wave the Crab had come up or hadn't come up for him, and, you know, if it had come up and how he would have been able to counter Alton Sarnai early, you know, we would have been talking about a very, very different game. But the thing is, I think if I was James in that scenario, I would walk away from that game thinking that, okay, I played that as well as I could.
You played the cards till they fell.
I
Sure.
knew the choice that I was making, and I made the choice in full knowledge of what the consequences were going to be, thinking that I was making the maximum payoff choice.
And I guess ultimately it just comes down to philosophy, and part of it is that I was burned so badly myself.
Me too,
making
man.
that exact calculation,
Yeah.
and taking the one where, well, if I do it this way, I win the game.
Yeah. Whereas I was on the opposite end of the spectrum in my in previous tournaments where I played not to lose. I played the safe option, and if I had played the ultra aggressive play to win option, I would have won the game. So I mean, maybe we're once bitten, twice shy, or maybe once bitten,
maybe between
twice
the two
as
of us we
aggressive.
form a fully functional player.
Well, unfortunately, I did it again.
That makes my F-bombs from earlier look...
I'll go for the water this time.
yeah.
The water. I mean, maybe you can see. Maybe the viewers are getting the idea about what the stream is all about.
Maybe. We have to respect their intelligence.
We do. Never our opponents, but always our viewers.
We don't have any opponents, Andy. We're not playing.
That's very true.
We're nobodies. We're
That's
on
very
the
true.
stream. We're in here in the studio. They're the ones in there competing for glory and Hatamoto status.
Speaking of which, how about we get one of the guys in here from the previous game to have a bit of an interview and get to know one of them.
That sounds good. Let's see what we can rustle up.
All right, I'll All right, guys, I'm here with the winner from the last game, from our last feature game, Robert Haustein, native of Berlin, same as my hometown. So
Shout out to my guys,
Herz-
René and Effe.
herzlich willkommen.
Thank you.
So, how did you feel about that game?
Well, it was pretty close, pretty close. He was an awesome player,
Yeah.
and Unicorn in a single core environment is quite hard, and going 3-0
Yeah.
was 2-1 is really outstanding.
Yeah,
Really good,
yeah.
really good. He played it really, really good. But it's, it's single core, so it's a little bit random.
Yeah.
And I had a good draw, so it's especially at the start.
Yeah, we were talking a lot on the in the commentary
Yes.
about how that game would have gone if you didn't have Way of the Crab in your opening
I think
hand.
it would be pretty bad for me. Pretty bad.
Because Alton Sarnai, she's not the heaviest hitting
No.
In the world in terms of champions. But if you don't have an answer
Yes,
early in the game,
Exactly, it's over. It's over.
Thankfully you did. Take us through a little bit about. Okay, how were you feeling on that first turn? Did you? Were you trying to set him up? Was there
Yes.
anything? Okay,
Yes,
so
yes.
talk me
I
through
tried
it.
to set him up. I knew, okay, I have assassination.
Mm-hmm.
I have Way of a Crab. He's not a scorpion. He's not a crane. He cannot cancel me.
Yeah.
So I thought, okay, I can defend, but would bind resources. So I let him attack, and then I destroy the first one, and I destroy the second one. So.
Because you guys traded a lot of cards in that opening
Yes,
round.
yes,
There was
yes.
a lot of you're using a lot of your conflict cards.
Yes.
And
yes.
and that meant you were very, very low for the
True.
coming
True.
rounds. How did that play into your strategy?
My strategy, I'm not that familiar with the game. I've played maybe 20 games or something. I know card draw is important, honor is important. But I thought I have to crush him very fast.
Yeah.
Because I thought, well, I'm quite tired, sorry. So I started at 4:30 in Berlin, so I thought, okay, I can have maybe half a good hour in me. So before I can start drinking now, because I'm 3-1 and I have my little plastic stronghold. Yes! So, then I thought, okay, I have to put the pressure on.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
And in this deck, kudos to Stefano, who raped me in the game before. He destroyed me totally with Scorpion. With a Dragon ally now, I have a little more push and political.
Yeah.
So on that really helps against Unicorn.
Yeah. So take me through. There was in the late game, there was a lot of back and forth. It seemed like there was a lot of conversation with your opponent.
Yes, yes.
Back and forth. Talk to me about what that was.
We had a little bit a problem about the keeper of fire.
Yeah.
With personality, keeper of fire with the roll card.
Yeah.
It was ruled before for me that I can honor him directly. I thought that's pretty good.
Yeah.
So okay, but it isn't that way. So, but I think the choice would be always better to dishonor his personality, because he had 2 personal honor.
Yeah.
It would be the better choice. So,
Yeah.
and I continued to attack him because he was on his last province and he has to bind resources.
Yeah.
So that was the reason.
But yeah, we were talking about in the commentary as well that you were playing it like what we would consider a veteran player of this game.
Thank you.
You were playing it very nicely in that you saw that it was an entrenched position
Yes.
on
Yes.
the stronghold, and you didn't commit a huge amount of resources on the very first attack into
Yes.
it. You just committed
Yes.
enough to
Yes.
to make it turn,
Exactly.
to see what it
Exactly.
was, and then
Yes.
assess your
Yes.
position.
He had 1 province, and I had 1 province of me, and I had 3 of him. I think his mistake is difficult, but he crushed his what is called the Unicorn province.
Yeah.
With a
Yeah.
free.
Yeah.
I didn't have anything on my hand. He knew that. I just wanted to attack for the ring.
Yeah.
It was a 2, and he had a 3, and he destroyed it. I thought, okay, I lose the card, the personality, but I win the province. So that's a good trade for me. But you cannot know that. So
No, absolutely.
maybe I would have been waiting, and his play is to if I attach something.
Yeah.
But
But he has to with the god.
yeah, on reaction.
He has to proc
okay,
it on
sorry.
reaction.
You
to
see,
your
I'm not a
assignment,
veteran
or
player.
on it flipping.
Okay.
He has to.
So it was perfect from him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course, he has to think about it.
He's
that I
going
have
to
some-
lose the province
yes,
anyway,
yes,
so
yes.
he's
so
got to
okay.
use it.
So that was the only thing where I thought, well, so I was pretty depressed after the void thing. I didn't really see that he has two
Yeah.
keepers of a void, and I
Yeah.
just thought, okay, well, there goes my game.
Yeah, because that was a huge turning point in the game.
Yes,
The amount
yes.
of tempo that he now
yes.
had.
Yes.
He actually had a really, really good board presence all of a
Yes,
sudden. How
yes.
did you feel at that moment, and what did you think?
Duty, it's on here. You can't see it, but it's duty. So I have to do my duty until the end. So I won't give up, and I will try it. And I was still provinces in the province trading. I was before him.
Yeah.
So I thought, okay, just push through.
Cool. And how do you feel about your matchups in general in a single core
Yes.
environment playing Crab? Who do you think are the
A dragon is a hard matchup.
Yeah.
I didn't play any dragon, so for my luck, Scorpion is a very good matchup because they can cancel my important actions and they can steal my watch commander. In the second game, I was glad. Wow, my watch commander! I attach it, and well, I will win the battle when he just steals it. So I just went, oh fuck, no, it's not good.
Oh God, I
So,
didn't think of that.
so Scorpion is difficult. Unicorn is easier matchup.
yeah.
He was a great player, but still Unicorn in single core is really tough. So I played 2 Unicorns today. I was quite lucky.
Yeah. And how do you feel about the state of Crab in general?
It's a crap. Well, you have to talk with Owen, maybe. He's our Hatamoto, so he's a much better source for me. But I really like Crab. I was playing Crab since 15 years or something, through the good times and the bad times. And I
wait, hold on. I gotta stop you there, Robert.
Yes.
How many bad times were there for Crab? Because I played for 15 years as well. I don't remember Crab ever being that bad.
True. I always see a deck from Salman Barakat,
Yeah.
and I see, wow, Salman has a good idea. Maybe, why didn't I come through it? So, there were not so many bad times, but maybe the Gozuko things. That was stupid, or
That
the
was
Madness
rough.
Stronghold was really stupid.
That was.
So, but I really like it. It's a defense play, but it's not. You put the personalities on the table and you just crush provinces.
Yeah.
It doesn't work like this way. In a free core environment, I love the Phoenix Splash. It's not my idea. It's Joe from Cincinnati or somebody who in the forum. I really like it. With a dishonor thing, but you have to think, and thinking is hard for a crab.
I have to agree with you there. Thinking has never been my strong point. So
So you're playing crab, right?
no, I'll be playing Lion. Hopefully,
Okay.
I think I'll play Lion.
That's a nice claim.
My personal preference is always to play a deck that requires the minimal amount of play for me,
Sure.
so that I can not make very many mistakes.
Okay, that's Lion for you. Sorry, Lion guys.
But good. That's a
Okay.
good thing. But anyhow, so what are your plans for? You're going to get the Berlin scene going a bit?
Yes. We are trying to get the Berlin scene. Hendrik, shout-outs to Hendrik, who's here with me. We are 2 family fathers with 2 daughters and having 1 day off, and and we are really trying to get the community going, because it's such a good game.
Yeah.
It's really I really loved Conquest.
Yep.
Won 2 nationals, that was awesome. But in Conquest, you had the snowball effect, and this is the first game where you can really make a comeback.
Yeah.
So, and that's awesome. We are really trying to push forward the Berlin scene and the German scene at all. There are other guys here who really nice.
Cool. Well,
So-
I look forward to seeing you again in Berlin and to
I hope
playing a
so.
lot of
Yeah,
games
thank
with
you.
you.
Okay.
Thanks for coming on to the stream with us and giving us an interview. And thank you guys for watching. We're going to be taking a short break now. We'll be back in a few minutes with the 5th and final round, where we'll be having the 5-0 game to see at least one of the Hatamotos in action.
Good.
And thanks again, Robert. And
My pleasure.
Yeah, take care, guys.
Bye.